CNBC-TV18 Weekender.
You put in a lot of money, if we can talk financials now, on both these teams. What has been the funding like? When do you see returns coming back? Or do you think it still is some time before you actually start doing that?
I think ROI is something that I won't look at it for a short-term game.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think it's going to take a couple of years. But if you see football, you already see where the Indian team has gone as far as the world ranking is concerned. So I think there's already return on investment. There's already a payback time. And it can only get better. More players are motivated to play. So I think it's a great return in 3 years itself. If I look at table tennis, fine, we've not had the best of heroes, but we will create them. If I see the performance of Indian players in ultimate table tennis, I think some of them have done exceptionally well. Many have been motivated to do well, and the rest will, I'm sure, perform only better in the coming years. So I think instead of me evaluating both the properties financially.
No, but have you put some money aside on this is what your spend is going to be?
Of course, we have put aside enough money. And I think when you're nurturing talent, then I don't think we should only talk of finances for a couple of years, but we should look at the long run. And in terms, I think success is when there is heroes created. So which we have already started achieving in football. Even some of our young players, 2 of the under 19 players are already called for the senior national team camp. That
Congratulations for that.
Thank you. So that itself, I see it as a good investment. And for table tennis, as I said, some of the young players are already doing well. Even a 17-year-old Archana Kamath did well in the ultimate table tennis.
For the longest time, it has been the dearth of funds and resources that haven't put India on the map for many games, starting from athletics to swimming for that matter. We haven't, when it comes to the international games, there's very less that we have been able to achieve.
If you look at swimming, as you just mentioned, Mr. Saldana of Glenmark has made a lot of investment in swimming, and I'm sure it's doing well. Like that, people have invested in badminton, kabaddi, in wrestling, in all sorts of games. Yes. So I think we are very blessed in life, and it's time that we give back to the society, and that's where we are. So sometimes you don't count numbers, but as I said, you see the success rate depending on how many heroes you create. So for me, that's more important.
You are into 2 sports leagues already. Are there any more plans coming up? Are you eyeing another sport right now?
1 at a time.
2 down. Anything else that you're looking at?
I think it's been 3 years. We've had 2 sports already. I want to make sure that both are stabilized, both do well. Then we can perhaps look at focusing on more.
So when you really look at this, how has been your reach into the heartlands of the country? So would you say that the reach has been proper in schools, in cities, in those smaller towns?
So in football, we have almost 45 to 50,000 children in our grassroots program, which is only based out of Tamil Nadu because that's our
base as of
area,
now.
Of focus. So in Tamil Nadu, we are happy. We have scouted some good talent, and as I said, we have already seen some of our young talents doing well. And in table tennis, we have started the school program, which we run in 28 states. Now we are trying to see if we can expand and make it even larger, scale it up. And then I think that's a new beginning. If we can really bring about a change, if sports can become part of the curriculum, and I think the participation will become multifold, and students, parents, everybody will be, encouraging enough to participate or ensure that the students participate in it.
Let's talk a bit more about yourself now. Are you looking to play a sport, and also how has been the support from the family when it comes to it? Because you need it tremendously when you do something or launch something like that.
Oh, I have a lot of support from the family. As they say, this is your baby and you do what you want to do with it, which is great because then you have a lot of freedom to run the business you want to run. I have the best of support as far as my partners are concerned in both the ventures. So I don't think I can ask for anything better.
We've seen foreign money come into so many aspects, so many sectors. Do you see that interest from foreign playing groups or sports groups come into India in that sense?
So as far as football is concerned, we've had some great talent coming to India. Like if you look at season 1 itself with Mendoza coming in, he's gone to play for New York City, and I think that's a great start because now he has already spread the word about ISL and about Chennai FC. If you look at the last season, we had Eli Sabia, who has gone to play for Saudi Arabia. So I think it's great, you know, there is so much of interest from around the world into what kind of sports exist and leagues that are developing and being run in India. As far as table tennis is concerned, I think after the first season of UTT is over, we've had many higher ranked players have reached out to us and asked us if there is any possibility of them participating in UTT in 2018, and which itself is very encouraging. So it's great. I think many people from around the world are looking at India differently as a country that has many sports which are emerging.
You know, you mentioned earlier on how there are sports teams and then there are sports clubs cropping up by the day. You hear about them in all cities, smaller towns as well. While of course sports seems to be getting its attention right now, but how much, you know, I'm just coming back to the funding part yet again, but do you think there's enough being done when it comes to financial, when it comes to supporting that?
I think it's never enough. At the same time, we can't be discouraged because more popular it gets, more helping hands will come in, more people will join in and financially support you, more sponsors come in. So I don't see it as a bleak picture at all. I see it as a bright picture. I see nice sunshine.
You know, because most of the sports coaching, as I see it, also is slightly more on the higher side. It's more expensive. It's when you want the best, you have to pay more for it as well. So do you think that is where somehow it somewhere lacks?
But that's why we are here, no? To make sure that we can provide the best possible platform, and then I'm sure we'll try and get the best possible talent.
Vita, final few questions and we'll let you go after that. You know, I've seen children play table tennis and football on their iPads and stuff like that. I think you're sure you definitely are taking them out of that and putting them on the ground.
So I do understand that real estate in Bombay is very expensive, but we have different sizes of table tennis tables, from a super mini, which can be put on a 2x4 table, to a it's like women's clothing, if I may. You know, it's super mini, maxi, full size table. So we have lots of options, and I think depending on the availability of space, people put that, and they've started playing. Even at the league, we kind of displayed all the different kinds of tables that we had, and not a single table was ever empty. People were just playing. So I think it comes naturally to them when there's a gadget there. I mean, a gadget as in a physical table or something, and people play. You don't need to really motivate them.
Yeah, we've done it on our dining tables, so I'm assuming.
All the time.
So, Vita, I know I've been pushing you on this, but what are the plans? Where do you see yourself 5 years and 10 years down the line?
As I said, I really want to make a difference in the world of sports in my own way. I don't want to compete with anybody, but if we can create a hero in India, then that's great. When you hear that, okay, you know, India is still not in the top 10 medal achievers, you know, in Olympics, then you just ask yourself this question as to what is it that we should be doing. And I think if we are going in the right direction, then I'm sure we will achieve what we want to achieve.
I take your point, you know, but would you say that people like you, I mean, while of course you are an enthusiast and you have wanted to do it, it also has led to corporates and enthusiasts come in because somewhere, somehow, the country resources were lacking?
I wouldn't say country resources were lacking. I think priorities were different. We had to worry about different aspects of the economy where sports perhaps got a little compromised. And I think we as corporates talk about corporate social responsibility, but what is it that we are doing as part of CSR? So if you want to consider, like say, a sporting venture as part of CSR, that's fine with me, but that's what we should be doing. We should be giving back to the society and making a difference. And I'm sure many people are doing this. Some people are more visible and some are perhaps not as visible. but we all need to do our bit.
Vita, thank you. It has been amazing chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
CNBC-TV18 Weekender.